back here by 1940. That's 740 in old money.
There's a lot of people that are trying to photograph with the interview post. So the fighters will go through an interview process, get a portfolio, and then put your names on the boxes to say, yes, my job will cover. Luckily 3 years ago, I got a job.
So we have a 5-week maintenance period where they are working very hard. We have the OC Falcons, which is fighting 7.2. As you can imagine, that is a very technical manoeuvre to do. They are holding as much as they can with the lead above, who will now fly a streamer, ready to fly a flag, as they fly down towards the ground, creating a visual illusion of streamers. The idea being that the colour and the streamers create various patterns in the sky. Well, I think you'll agree actually that's very effective, and again, as they get close to the ground, you can see they are flying the national flag and the flag of the French Air Force. Away to prepare themselves for their approach for landing. And they are around 300-400 feet now, so they can hear you. So we've got a massive crowd here today at Cosford. So, and Team PHENIX. Once the team are down on the ground, they will reposition themselves and they will wait then for the premier flying parachute display today from the RAF Falcons. And they'll wait for their counterparts to come down and they will line up to present themselves and give us salutes. Carrying the flag of the French Air Force to the split. Odd numbers go left, even numbers go right. And the coach will go for a 90 degrees to go back on themselves, create two separate
Ladies, gents and teddy bears, don't forget to hit the like button, get this stream out there. This is the replay of the highlights from the Cosford Air Show 2023. We've got the Royal Air Force's Falcons.
And then immediately, once
hit that
the
like, and of course,
into our signature move, which is the carousel. This one is a great one for photographs. Once again, you can see how tight the team are when they're getting right tucked in behind each other, flying through each other's smoke trails, and creating that lovely corkscrew effect. Now he's calling the team into their final manoeuvre to line up for landing.
Once they're into the snake formation, they will come down, one behind the other, and they will maneuver into what we call the ducks formation. And this requires a huge amount of skill because they can then fly safely in line with each other and will come down onto the drop zone alongside each other to try and land simultaneously as one team. Not forgetting, of course, our three flag bearers at the top there. Today, flying the flags, we've got Sergeant Doug McCall, Sergeant Andy Lynx, and Sergeant Gay Coleman Rocket flying the colours of the Union flag and the Royal Air Force ensign. Flying the colours, the red, white and blue, wherever we go. The RAF Falcons are proud to display all over the country and all over the world, representing the very best of parachuting, the Royal Air Force and Great Britain. So once again, Cosford, massive cheers please for the RAF Falcons. In there, as I said, it is Flight Sergeant Liam Lyons, Corporal Joe Finch.
Oh yeah, ladies, gents and teddy bears, don't forget to hit that like, smash it up. Get this stream going and enjoy the chat, and don't forget you can vote free for the Ted Coningsby Display Awards. The winning display gets to win the Ted Coningsby Award. Oh yeah.
Safely near the front. We'll get a great view of the Falcons, and again a historic moment for us. We'll be doing the line-up today alongside our French counterparts in PHENIX. And that is our
Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm sure you'll agree with me, it's an absolutely fantastic way to open the flying programme here at the Cosford Air Show 2023. We are now expecting a flypast. This is a very special flypast by the C130 Hercules. As this difficult to believe, but in just a few days' time, this aircraft will leave RAF service. The right-hand side, one of the very last chances we all have to experience the sight and sound of the C130 Hercules.
Stunning scenes of the C130J. That deserves a like, come on. Hit that like. This is the exclusive replay from RAF Cosford Air Show, bringing you the highlights. Ah, yeah.
Kind of feels like the Ravens leaving the Tower of London. For the future, tactical airlift in the Royal Air Force is in very safe hands. Demonstrating that to you later on this afternoon. And if you follow Royal Air Force social media, you'll know that yesterday it was announced that there will be a UK national tour of the C130 Hercules on the 14th of June, that's this Wednesday.
You've got to get that on film.
that rule down to just mentioned the 4th Command 9 Lynx of the Army Air Corps, which had a wheeled undercarriage, quite a different beast in many ways, based on the earlier Lynx 3 project. Lynx, the last Lynx in UK military service with the Army Air Corps, retired in 2018. Mark 7 like this were phased down to 2050. The Royal Navy Mark 8 followed in 2070. These aircraft replaced the similar looking aircraft, similar looking, it's very, very different wildcat. They are the Yes, indeed, we were also seeing wildcat actually later with the already black cat going on. Unfortunately, for various the Army Air Corps, the Patrioulle Lynx carries 12 crews. The total cargo of up to 2,000 the Canada Waterfall Pack, armed class, Cold War, in things that turn truly hot. These attacks camouflaging very very effective too, must be said. Not operating during the First Gulf War in Project Lynx have done here in this aircraft here when we gave actually historic aircraft service 10 years ago really. It's modern stuff. The Army Air Corps prime anti-tank helicopter out there.
This glider is, look at this, this is impressive. Skim it. Ladies, gents and teddy bears, the Ted Coningsby channel bringing you live highlights. The replay from Cosford Air Show to your homes, to wherever you may be, to your work. Amy, get to work. Chris Bloxham, thanks a lot, man, for all your support. Mods here, Davey, Margot. Who else we got on here? Thank you so much. Enjoy the show.
There's a lot of people that apply to the team, so for us it's an interview post. So we apply to the team, go through an interview process, give a portfolio, and then it's just a decision then from the bosses to say, yes, you've either got the job or you haven't. Luckily 3 years ago, I got the job. So
Are for your use, and it's very pleasing from our commentary position to see a moderate Q2023 display.
Ladies, gents, and teddy bears, the Chinook display. Here we go.
And here we go.
Send it.
The aircraft brakes left after the pedal turn to set up for the next manoeuvre, the offset wingover. This year's display is captained by Flight Lieutenant Jim Hocker. Jim is the Chinook Force's old father time, having joined the RAF in 1989 before most of the display team were even born. Jim has flown the Wessex, the Augusta 109, the Squirrel, the Griffin and the Chinook. He's undertaken operational tours across the globe and is the Chinook's only current A1 instructor.
Come on, hit the like. It's surely worth the like, man. And don't forget, if you enjoy our content, subscribe to the Ted.
He uses the wingover to reposition for the run-in back along the foul line, and exactly the same way a frontline pilot will recce a landing site before their landing. He's running in now for the famous roller coaster, pitching the aircraft up to 50 degrees from the horizontal before pushing over at the top, bunting the aircraft, and racing back down towards its hard deck of 100 feet. As he passes ground center, he'll enter the second half of the roller coaster, asking the Chinook's two 5,000 horsepower engines to offer up a big chunk of their performance before throwing the aircraft over the top of the second bump. As they complete their nose over, they begin setting the aircraft up for the second of the pedal turns. Jim puts the aircraft into a max performance climb before putting in a large pedal input at the apex, reversing the aircraft through 180 degrees. As they exit the pedal turn, they'll perform a pass of the flight line and give you a chance for some cracking photos of the Chinook.
Let's do it.
The Chinook is inextricably linked with the model battlefield. During combat aircraft, for a demonstration of just how agile the Chinook is. The nose-down quick-stop is used to turn the aircraft on a sixpence. This is particularly useful when the troops are spotted late in an approach, as it enables us to rapidly transition from ramming speed to bringing support to the troops on the ground. From the hover, the crew will now open the ramp and give our crewmen the best seat at the Cosford Air Show. This is a chance to show our crews some appreciation as they wave back at you with the iconic orange hand. Operating the orange hand today is Sergeant Steve Shaw. Steve, originally from the Peak District, spent his childhood watching Chinook conducting training flights along the German Valley. He joined the RAF initially as an armourer, where he worked to prepare the RAF's now retired tornado fleet for operational sorties. However, in 2015, he saw a change in career and was then supported by a huge number of engineers that keep that airplane airworthy and functional. All of them have returned to Cosford today to the school where they learned their trade, and it's their absolute privilege to hark back to the Chinook Force's time in Bosnia, where they would often depart the Dorney McGrew base in this fashion. It would help them clear the high-sided valleys, lifted the morale of the troops they had just resupplied, and gave them the opportunity to demonstrate the Chinook's astonishing power-to-weight ratio. As they complete the corkscrew, they'll begin a 405-degree spiral descent back down towards their hard deck. It's worth noting that all of our display activity is conducted around normal duties and operational commitments. Both aircrew and engineers work tirelessly to deliver their normal operational output, and will return to work tomorrow to fly 6 helicopters and ensure the UK retains a credible air manoeuvre capability. The crew are positioning now for a run in a break. This is a great chance for a photo of the aircraft's underbelly, but more importantly, enables Jim to bring the blade slap to RAF Cosford. Than just the aircrew and engineers ensures that all our training runs smoothly. Logisticians make sure that spare parts and fuel are precisely where they're needed. Air traffickers keep the crew abreast of threats and facilitate safe landings. It would be remiss of us not to mention their efforts today. The crew are now running in 2 motors of the Chinook to bring the aircraft to a stop, which is used as the nose for procedure. To demonstrate, Jim will now position the aircraft for an over-the-shoulder departure. As they lift to the hover, please give them a big wave and a cheer.
Oh, proper sweet, look at this.
With a flash of the landing light and away from the crew, the 2023 Chinook display is finished. It has been an honour to display the most beautiful Chinook to you here today and bring the blade slap to RAF Cosford. Please come and find us in the RAF Village to meet our team, learn more about the world's exciting careers available in the RAF, and ask any questions you might have about the Chinook Force. Don't forget to follow us on social media and send us your best photos from today. The photos and look forward to meeting you later on. It has been our pleasure to display for you.
Yeah, ladies, gents and teddy bears. If you love the Walker, then vote now. The link's in the description. Enjoy.
In common. Only 10 military aircraft worldwide have enjoyed over 60 years of continuous military service.
Gents and teddy bears, the Bbmf. Here we go.
Give our support and inspiration to future generations and support for several STEM initiatives throughout virtual reality and simulator experiences. The Battle of Britain aircraft attend over 900 events with displays and flight passes, meaning we appear in front of millions every summer. We support events from various states to state occasions and travel to all corners of the United Kingdom as well as occasional visits overseas. Hawker production line at Langley in July 1944, with the inscription, "The last of many," on her port and starboard side. The D-Day markings of 64 Squadron aircraft BM327, flown by Flight Lieutenant Tony Cooper, one of the flight commanders on 64 Squadron in 1944. Was credited with destroying a Dornier 217 bomber in AB-910 during this combat. AB-910 also famously flew the first unauthorised Spitfire passenger, Margaret Horton, was weighing the tail down whilst the aircraft was taxiing to take off. The pilot unknowingly got airborne. Amazingly, Margaret managed to hang on and the pilot safely landed the aircraft. Neither Margaret or the pilot or aircraft were harmed. After this, it was displayed regularly by renowned Spitfire test pilot Patrioulle until being donated by the company to Bbmf in 1965. Of our fleet throughout maintenance contracts, as well as our corporate sponsors, without whom the routine business wouldn't be possible, which includes support from our veterans and upkeep of the flight itself. aircraft from the Air Ministry and kept in storage at Langley. And in 1950, PZ-865 was entered in the King's Cup Air Race by HRH Princess Margaret, flown by Group Captain Peter Townsend, and it achieved second place. was flown to Culture and presented by Hawkless to the Bbmf. PZ-865 currently appears in all black night fighter colour scheme, replicating the Hurricane Mark IIc BE-634. Squadron, the squadron's Hurricanes were used for night air defence over Plymouth and Exeter area for night intruder operations against targets in northern western France.
What's going on, mate? Brighty, oh yeah! Ladies, gents and teddy bears, Brighty will be up next. Typhoon display, oh yeah, call sign and a key one.
the faster end, fly-by wide system here, making sure the aircraft stays rock steady, down to perhaps 130, 120 knots. That would look very slow indeed. Yes, like a lot of modern combat aircraft designs, the design of the Typhoon in itself is inherently unstable, and it's stabilised by that digital fly-by-wire control system, which also gives it what's known as carefree handling, not allowing the pilot to take the airplane outside the flight envelope.
Oh, now look at this. Royal Jordanian
Kingdom of Jordan.
Check them out.
And a team that we've not seen in this particular type of extra 300 because they upgraded in 2017, getting airborne now. The Royal Jordanian Falcons, and they'll be getting into formation. Ready to run in and start their display shortly. Yes, the team started life in 1977 at the behest of His Majesty King Hussein, himself a pilot of great renown. They started out with their first British display in 1979 and were then regulars with the pits on the European and Middle Eastern display circuit, plus occasional visits to North America indeed, until 1992 when they converted to the extra EA300. Initially at that time the mid-wing model, they then later switched to the low-wing 300L, the Malta Extra, and this team won of its greatest exponents. You can see they started off in box formation, the smoke goes on, and we present to you the 2023 Royal Jordanian Falcons. So they start off in box formation for an initial quarter cloverleaf manoeuvre, drawing into the sky as the outline of a quarter of a cloverleaf. And we'll soon see the first of the formation changes as from box they go into team landing formation for the line abreast. And out of that, the scene will be transitioning into a left-hand barrel roll. And then tracing the outline of the inside of an imaginary barrel in the sky.
Ladies, gents and teddy bears, don't forget to hit the like button. Get this stream going. We've got to keep it going. YouTube will recommend this stream with the more likes and action comments that this stream gets. This is a live replay from the highlights of yesterday's Cosford Air Show 2023.
2023 is Captain Jamil Zayad, who joined the team back in 2002 Jordanian Air Force in 1992 and graduated from the King Hussein Air College 3 years later. He's got in excess of 3,400 hours in his logbooks, flying the F5 and the Mirage F1 in the Royal Jordanian Air Force on the front line. So there is that cloverleaf. What we refer to as the B axis. The A axis is the one parallel to the main runway. The B axis is at right angles to that. They head away from us and pull up, but now separating and putting them both on.
Oh, look at this!
Very nicely executed indeed. To leave the arena for a few moments while the solo man, the slot man in the formation at the back of the foreship, shows us something of what the 330LX model of the Extra can do in the first of his solo routines. This is Captain Sharif Patuk. He's the chief pilot of the team that joined in 2016. He's an undergraduate of the King Hussein Air College, flying the F5 in the fighter role, and then the Airbus C295 twin turboprop transport.
Look at this.
Now the recent formation comes in line astern for a tail loop. before fanning out. 3 aeroplanes now going into line abreast. And we'll see them pull up in unison. The speed gradually leading off for synchronized stall turns. Up and up and up they go. And then each applying rudder. Beautiful synchronization. And we'll see now the lead and the left wingman going into mirror formation with the right wingman barrel rolling around the smoke as they execute a turn to the right. Flying in mirror to the leader is the left wingman in the 2023 formation. That is Major Feras Al-Waitat, who joined and the S-16 Fighter Falcon on the front line. He's been part of the team since 2021. And for another demonstration of freestyle, competition-type aerobatic manoeuvres from the Solo. What an impressive aeroplane this is. 315 horsepower from the extra 330 Alexis Textron Lycoming AIO 580 engine. Maximum G-limit is plus and minus 10 in aerobatic flight. Now here comes the 3 aircraft entering from our left. And again another of those cloverleaf manoeuvres, this time prior to a downward split. Something going on all the time in this display. The 3 aircraft all going vertical in front of us. Again, stall turns, far more separation between them than the last time. But once again, the Solo coming in. Another couple of minutes of freestyle solo work. The extra family of aerobatic aircraft, the mount of so many different famous display teams. We particularly think of the Blades team from 2XL Aviation, now disbanded of course, but 2XL still active in so many other areas. You might have seen in the static display, we had them at Cosford many times. Also with Moton. And this is time for one of the signature manoeuvres of the
Oh, look at this!
As they now roll the runway up and heading towards the display data for the Hashemite break. International Airport in the beautiful city of Aqaba. The Royal Jordanian Air Force for a wide-ranging European tour, of which this, as I said, is the first stop for 2023. Main air shows scheduled between now and late September. These slots by the solo pilot used to fill the gaps between the main formation heading away and returning. And there a demonstration of a gyroscopic upward tumble as the Solo heads away to the right. If you look out to the left, there's the three aircraft crossing there with the Solo going on the right edge, and under the three line breadth formation for them. The one pilot I haven't spoken about yet is the right wingman. That's Major Ahmad Al-Rababa, who joined the Royal Jordanian Falcons in 2019. Like all these colleagues, the graduate officers a stint as an instructor pilot, getting back together with the solo and slot man, Captain Sherry Patrouille, tugging in at the back of the formation for the final set of 4-ship manoeuvres, beginning with one that's absolutely beautifully executed by the team every time we see it, a slow roll in box formation. Now, an accurate slow roll is difficult enough to fly if you're on your own. Imagine then the added challenge of doing so in close formation with 3 other aircraft. Amount of coordination and concentration on the part of all 4 pilots whenever they fly at RAF base, but here they are coming in now Concorde formation for the final manoeuvre of their display, the Concorde break. That was 2023 Royal Jordanian Falcons to come round.
Enjoy that, Ted. Well, I think our squadron leader, Ted Coningsby, enjoyed that. So, yeah, that was worth it. That was really good, Ted. What do you reckon, yeah? Oh, look at this. This is a takeoff.
This guy. Someone like Goodwin. Everything he does style, he doesn't do anything straightforward, even that takeoff. Airborne just a few feet into a hard knife edge. He's just going to spend a second or so sorting himself out. Before he can get his display, this is Rich, of course. There's no such thing, he just goes straight into his display. Yeah, climbing to his standard display height of some 200 feet and realigning himself on the main A-axis as he comes past us with an initial 3-point roll. And there he goes, pulling up to about 45 degrees with a roll followed by numerous positive G snap rolls, finishing off inverted, and now using the rudder to bring the aircraft round in a 180 degree inverted flat turn.
Oh, this looks painful, man.
And now, of course, all the rolls as he heads back in towards us. For a big 5/8 loop with 1.5 slow rolls on the downline. Just 20 feet wide, 19 feet long, and I'm just slightly taller than it when it's on the ground. Original kits, 65 horsepower engine, over 300 in this one. The apex of that half loop, and then back down towards the display section. And this will now be pulling up into the vertical. A 4-point vertical roll this time, showing the penetrating performance, flying performance that this aircraft has, reaching 1,200 feet at the top of this manoeuvre for a double hammerhead stall. Back down to the ground centre, and it'll be pulling vertical yet again. With a spiral tower. He will fill the roll to start with.
weight ratio is quite incredible, and there, as he pulls up, he's endeavouring to bring the aircraft pretty much to a stop before it then carries on forward motion.
What a top pilot Richard Goodwin is, absolutely incredible.
Anything else, because it's operating very limited its performance in a sequence such as this. Compared with the standard form of pit special. And there it is on the right edge. Applied to the pit. There he is, what a view of the colour scheme. And that is just magnificent. Pulling away here is as near as possible to a pit special hovering.
Honestly, if you go to an air show and Richard Goodwin is performing with his pit special, just enjoy it. It's incredible.
Let's just look at that. The smoke trail gives you a really good idea of the angle of attack that the aircraft has established there in relation to the ground. And finally, he could relax. After twisting, but believe me, click and a few words down the radio should unleash hell on an enemy. This is a really, really nice terrace, although it's not one of the themes that we're marking in this Jordanian Cosford Air Show. Most of the link to that theatre is mainly the Fleet Air Arm of the Royal Navy that's fought in Korea, but part of George Sunderland's operating out was established as an independent arm. And the first use of the bird dog, the Cessna L-19 as it was known then, was also during the Korean War, it having largely replaced the Piper L4, the military observation variant, or L for liaison variant of the J3 Cub. The first one there, 1-5 heavily involved. Rex at the Second World War, to Italy, France, obviously D-Day, and then into Germany. On his own in action. Among the Patriouille team, however, teamwork is the key to success.
Debuting on the TCS, the Suisse with their Patriouille Suisse. Look at this.
What counts here, blind precision and many years of experience. Complete concentration and trust in...
In height. This prevents them from getting into the air vortices of their comrades. Stop. Lightning, go. Now, Achtung, stop.
Hit the like button if you enjoy this. Get YouTube to recommend our stream. Check this out. Cosford Air Show replay. Come on.
Around 920 knots, so about 1,050 miles per hour. Used mainly in Switzerland as an aggressor for our training. It has been in service in Swiss Air Force 4 to 5 years now.
Oh! That is some
the voice you hear on the radio is live from the cockpit.
Optimized every season and the new formations are added to the program from time to time. Training takes place in the spring. alert. Our second solo lifting.
Oh, look at this! Stunning, beautiful F5s. They use them as an aggressor in Switzerland. Dedicating this heart to the TCS, Ted Coningsby squadron members. This heart's for you. Ladies, gents, and teddy bears, hope you're enjoying the show. Check out the mirror. Oh, yeah.
Tiger 5, Tiger 6 now pulling high to the G's.
Full aircraft here.
section. And our first solo coming from right side to present the Tiger in gear down. Which have been involved in recovering a large number of Yak-11 trainers from Egypt, that being a very close cousin again of the Yak-3 design. And they came up with a new improved version of the Yak-3, as they called it, using those Yak-11s as the basis. And they were built by Avioane Craiova in Romania in both single or two-seat form. This one is two-seat.
Listen to this engine, beautiful. Look at it.
And I think the interesting engine on this he's actually been in the aerospace above Berlin, during the Berlin Air as well. That gestation went on until the first flight of the prototype Airbus A400M on the 11th of December 2009, and it was in 2013 that it came into service with its... With the C130 Hercules, this aircraft considerably bigger. It's not quite C-17 size, but it's sort of midway between the C130 Hercules and the C-17 Globemaster. In the cruise, around about 450, 460 miles per hour. That's some 100 miles per hour faster than the C-130 Hercules. And can carry just about double the payload, which is very, very impressive. It also has very good, it can be used strategically, but it's really a tactical airlifter, which means it often has to operate in very small airstrips, sometimes very austere, sometimes completely unprepared. So the whole aircraft is geared to work when it doesn't necessarily have the best surface to operate or even necessarily the best ground support. Now on the 22nd of May this year, so just a few weeks back, the RAF received its 22nd example of the Atlas, which completed the delivery, development and production phase, and this is citizens from war-torn Sudan operating from RAF Patrouille in Cyprus. C-17s and Voyagers forming the rest of the RAF Air Mobility Force Enterprise Northern were also involved, along with many other RAF ground units. The first really large-scale operation for the RAF Atlas fleet was the Afghanistan evacuation in August 2021. 3 Hercules, 4 Atlas, 5 Voyagers and 7 C-17s were involved in that, and they airlifted out more than 15,000 people. So if you look to your right-hand side, you'll see the aircraft is configured for landing. I'm expecting this to be a low overshoot, so you can see there's 4 massive engines, TP400, rated at 11,000 horsepower each. So you are looking at the future tactical air mobility for the Royal Air Force. This aircraft, of course, based at RAF Prize Norton in Oxfordshire. Numbers 30 and 70 Squadron use the Atlas for global missions. Number 24 Squadron conducts crew training, and full operational capability in the tactical role is expected. Now the fleet is complete at 22 aircraft. They've been working up low-level missions, austere strip operations, use of night vision goggles, and so forth. It really has brought some new capabilities, or new levels of capability to the RAF. Back in November 2018, an Atlas set a new record by dropping a 23-ton load by a parachute over Salisbury Plain. That was the heaviest load that 70 years ago started in Berlin, using hundreds upon hundreds of C-47s, C-54s, Yorks, Hastings, and other types.
And indeed, yesterday I did a little bit of number crunching, looking at the total load that the Royal Air Force
And the Mustang, Lancaster, Berlin engine failed by a
Right treat being now the B-51 Mustang and the Spitfire Mark 19. Enjoy the noise, shall we say. Enjoy the sounds.
Developed into a huge number of miles, right up to 22, 24. Even to some other aircraft such as the Seaplane. This is a PR aircraft, PR standing for photo reconnaissance. Hopefully, this aircraft has to rely on speed and altitude to escape the enemy. They were frequently forced combat. These aircraft sent out over Europe, total barrage, targeted both future, current and past. Reconnaissance aircraft, and eventually it was a RAF squadron leader and photographer called Sidney Cotton who thought we need to do something about this, and he managed to extract 2 Spitfires from the Air Ministry. Sierra 853 trying to find a photograph of the launching sites of the German V1 and V2
horsepower. You compare that with the early Merlins in the early marks of Spitfire, they were rated around about 1,000 to 1,100 horsepower. This easily doubled that. Photographs, certainly perhaps the most famous being May 1943, the breaches in Mona and the 8 a day after the famous 617. Commission in New York, which was set up to look into potential aircraft procurement from United States manufacturers as a means of bolstering the UK's own production during the Second World War. It was produced in double quick time and it was in the air by the end of 1940. This aircraft, as I say, used the American Allison B-1710 engine, a very good, dependable power plant. And indeed, the early Mustangs to enter service with the Royal Air Force and the US Army Air Forces were extremely capable in low-level roles. They excelled at ground attack. They were very useful for low-level tactical reconnaissance duties. However, high an Allison B-1710 engine, this in spite of the outstanding Mustang airframe, and commanding officer of the Royal Air Force Air Fighting Development Unit at Duxford, Ian Campbell Ord, and his friend Ronnie Harker, a test pilot for Rolls-Royce in 1942. It was from that the idea of fitting a Rolls-Royce Merlin engine to make the most of the Mustang airframe stemmed. It first took to the air in prototype form from the Rolls-Royce. Mustangs continued to serve gallantly in such as the tactical reconnaissance role with the Royal Air Force. It was the Mosquitoes and Lancasters that came to hold sway in Mustang infantry by the end of World War II. Army Air Force was based in Stanley. Like this D model, were able to accompany Allied heavy bombers, particularly the US Army Air Force B-24s, but also RAF Lancasters and Halifaxes on auxiliary long-range fuel tanks. Racers at Biggin Hill, but operated by the Rolls-Royce Heritage Flight from East Midlands, carries the markings of the personal aircraft of one of the greatest of all American aces of the Second World War, Colonel Don Blakesley, the commanding officer of the 4th Fighter Group stationed at Debden in Essex. Many Air Force Mustang colour schemes that may have
Royal Air Force Cosford, looking to your rear, please put your hands together. The 2023 Royal Air Force.
Oh, here we go! The Red Arrows! Come on!
5G, and it's for 400 miles per hour as they collapse from the wall formation, which is approximately 200 feet from wing tip to wing tip, into 8 arrows formation. As the team now starts to accelerate back towards the ground, Red 1 will bring the formation around to the left. Red 1 is holding a Tombo. Tom is in his 3rd and final year as Red 1. He is a former team member from 2014 through to 17, where he was the synchro leader in 2017. He is a former Typhoon pilot, a former qualified flying instructor on the Hawk T-Mark II, and he was also an instructor on the Tucano, where he was the Tucano display pilot in 2010. The smoke comes on for the 8th Arrow present. Keep your cameras trained on the formation for a dynamic shape change as 7 and 6 perform a rollback and change the shape from the arrow to the short diamond. Of course, we would normally have 9 aircraft, as you have seen earlier this year. The video from Officer Commanding RAF explaining that we are not a 9 this year down to safety, as we can only train 3 new pilots each year, and the maths just simply didn't work out for this year. However, our aim is to be at our famous trademark Diamond 9 for next year. On the Mexico, as Reds 4 and 5 smoke comes on as they make their way back to the rear of the formation. As they burn the first of our space-themed shapes. Red 1 bringing the formation around to the right. The smoke comes on for the Apollo loop. Once again, the team pull up at over 400 miles per hour, 4 to 5G, and will reach a height of over 5,500 to 6,000 feet at the apex of the loop. As you reach the apex, the speed now slows down to approximately 120 miles per hour, which makes the controls even less effective, making formation and station keeping more difficult. The jets now accelerate 200, 300, 400 miles per hour, which now has the opposite effect. The controls are now responsive and a lot more twitchy as Red 1 brings the formation around the left for the Apollo present. On the left of Red 1 is Flight Lieutenant Tom Hampstead, Red 3. Reds 2 and 3 shapes. Of course, Reds 4 and 5 are now all the way back at the formation, which makes their formation keeping even more difficult, as all the formation references are taken off Red 1, and it's even harder for them being that far back in the formation to see Red 1. As Red 1 brings the formation around the left for the Eagle present. Plays a vital role in all future military operations, with Space Command formed in 2021 and it reaching its initial operating capability in 2022. Once again, the smoke comes on from Reds 4 and 5. They move up to sit along beside Reds 2 and 3, sat behind Red 6 with Red 7 and 8 in trail. F-35, this is the lightning roll. On the far right hand side, it's Red 4. Airshow team will know Ollie in his full role as a flyer with the North Wales-based Strike Master pair. You've seen so far and you've heard Red 1 giving the commands in an almost robotic type voice. That is because the way we give our commands and the way we fly our formation is by ear and not by eye. That means they're putting the input in based on the commands of Red 1. We need to make those commands predictable, clear and concise over the radio. In just a little bit early to ensure that the wing of the formation moves as one rather than ripples down the formation. The start seems to the right. Get your cameras ready as the Red Arrows ride the storm in Tornado.
Oh yeah, come on.
Messages out, rolling, out.
The go call is made from Red 1 and the abort call is made from Red 7 as 7 and 8 roll around the smoke of the rest of the formation.
Oh, look at this.
You'll notice that the formation are flying with their air brakes out. That is a small personnel. And they are the engineers, the suppliers, the public relations, the administrators, and they are known as the Blues. And they really do make the Red Arrows machine go round. Without them, it simply wouldn't be able to display for you today. As we come to the end of our first half, we are now split into two sections.
Teddy Bears, you're watching live the replay of the highlights from Cosford Air Show 2023. Don't forget to hit the like and do support the Ted. We're giving you the Red Arrows now.
One of the early
Enjoy.
Red Arrows pilot who's attributed to taking the team from a 7 to a 9 and also attributed with taking and forming the famous Diamond 9 formation. Look directly to your front and you'll see the nose lights glistening in the distance, Get your cameras ready for the start of the second half. This is Detonator. JT is in his fourth year on the team, a former Typhoon pilot and former qualified flying sitter of the Hawk Team Mark 1. The aircraft passed through. The aircraft is a 4-point hesitation roll. The ball now turning 5 to 16 back towards each other, aiming for the centre of the display line as they complete a manoeuvre called Cyclone. Gathers the rest of Enid and brings them around to the left-hand side. As the aircraft passes, you will see they have a smoke pod underneath the aircraft. That smoke pod is picked up in 5 minutes of each colour is selectable by its own individual button on the pilot's control column. And during winter training, the smoke plan is put together very carefully between red 1 and red 6 to ensure that we have the right colour and the right smoke 6 and red 7, with red 7 in trail on red 6. They roll away from each other, the smoke comes on as they part and perform the crowd's favourite, the synchro heart. Today's heart is dedicated to Philip Stanton, the father of Adam and Pamela, who recently passed away.
Dedicating the heart here for you guys, the Ted Coningsby Squadron members. Hearts out to you.
Here's Red 8, Flight Attendant David Simmons. Simo is in his 5th year on the team, 8 with the United States Marine Corps. Once again, the synchro pair come back to the display line, where they perform a series of bar rolls in the double roll. Just behind red 1. As they perform a series of barrel rolls through the sky, leaving a snake-like smoke trail through the sky in a manoeuvre called the Python. I talked earlier of our blues personnel, over 140 of them, and they wear blue to the due to the coveralls that they wear. Amongst those blues are 10 individuals who are specially selected to fly in the aircraft. One individual who's with me at every display is 10 Corporal Bill Nye. And he is out in front and safety purposes. And he is also responsible for a wide range of the images and video you see across social media platforms. As Enid leaves the display area, keep looking to your left and looking to your right for the synchro pair running back into the display line. Red 6 coming in from your right. Once again, at 100 feet, 800 miles per hour closing speed. They will pass once again within 100 feet of each other. Take this smoke to white before they pull up at 5 to 6 G. In this manoeuvre they're pulling 5 to 6 G, which makes them 5 to 6 more times heavier than what you and I are as we stand on the airfield. They will reach a height of approximately 2,500 to 3,000 feet, inverted 60 degrees nose down, as they complete a manoeuvre called the boomerang. Look to the extreme left-hand side now, and you can see Enid running back in the distance with the smoke trail on white. Once again, red one pulling up at 400 miles per hour at 4G. This year, of course, we celebrated the coronation of King Charles III. As red one brings the formation around to the right, get your cameras ready for the Enid coronation medical break.
Don't forget to vote for your favourite display. Links below. Link pinned as well. Enjoy.
Blue one as they roll around the smoke of red 6. Eclats. That means excellence, which means every member of the team, looking to your right hand side, you have Enid running back in, smoking white. As this red smoke comes on, and reds 2 and 3 roll around the rest of the formation. Clear and go is the call as reds 4 and 5 roll around. Blues, they roll around the red smoke of red sex in vortex. Get your cameras ready for Hannah's last break of the show, the Hannah break. symbol in the sky for the infinity break. Royal Air Force Cosford, it's been an absolute pleasure. Please put your hands together for the 2023 Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team, the Red Arrows!
Oh yeah. Come on. This is the Royal Navy
So finishing his very spirited sequence, Tim de la Fosse from the Navy Wings.
Won by Squadron Leader Ted Coningsby.
For the Westland WASP HAS-1.
£3.
And what a great late addition to the flying programme. I think we've almost got into Jenga replacements on top of replacements. Yeah, replacements. Very much so.
Today we have something going on all the time. In fact, we found the big Rafale place in this Cosford Airshow's actually
music stopped.
He has succeeded for the final time this afternoon from the left. Christoph Simon Captain.
What a legend. Absolute brilliant. I'd like to see what he can do in a Typhoon. That was impressive, ladies, gents and teddy bears.
Alright, I give you the F-35B Lightning.
There was a wasp before I was going to go in my t-shirt.
The engine of the F-35B, a Pratt & Whitney F135 turbofan, which generates some 40,000 pounds of thrust in afterburner.
Pilot on this one. Ladies, gents and teddy bears, going to get loud. This is the F-35B, that's B for bear.
As far as the Royal Navy's use of this aircraft is concerned, their first operational F-35 squadron is 809 Naval Air Squadron, and that's the number plate that's ushered into service.
F-35's 135 decibels, here we go.
The F-35B Lightning, outbound back to RAF Marham. We were expecting that.
To one of the most famous raids.
Ladies and gentlemen, our aircraft is now approaching from Crown Rear, so I'd like to give you a moment to appreciate the roar of the iconic engines as they make their approach now. Lancasters in the world, PA474. Avro Lancaster PA474 is one of the, as I said, one of only two of these iconic 4-engine heavy bombers still airworthy out of nearly 7,400 that were built. She is a flying memorial to all those that served in Bomber Command and to those who tragically lost their lives. And this year we've remembered Operation Chastise, known as the Dambusters Raid, which took place 80 years ago this year. At the end of the war. She did not see service in any operational theatre. The aircraft joined the Bbmf in 1973, marking this her 50th year with us. PA474 was officially adopted by the City of Lincoln in 1975, and permission was granted for the aircraft to display the coat of arms of the name of the city on its nose. Within our small engineering team, who work all year round to maintain the aircraft in the safe and the condition for everyone to enjoy. This includes deploying every weekend throughout the summer to provide engineering support after each display flight and undertaking deep maintenance activity throughout the winter period on each of the aircraft. Options through our partners, the Bbmf Official Club and the Lancashire Association. Membership to either organisation offers behind-the-scenes information throughout the year and both directly support the flight in everything that we do. We wouldn't be here without either organisation and the support of every single member. You can find out more online or by visiting the PR tent down by the red arrows today. As Lancaster W5005 ARL leader, with nose art depicting a kangaroo in miner's boots playing with the bagpipes, representing the mixed nationalities of his crew at the time. On the starboard side of PA474 wears the 50 Squadron code letters VMT, which were the code letters of the aircraft in which Flying Officer Doughty Milliken flew 27 of the 35 operations on his tour with 50 Squadron. He was a grandfather to former OC Bbmf Andy Milliken, and we're very proud to have the Lancaster PA474 based at Coningsby in Lincolnshire, at the very heart of Bomber County. Give a massive round of applause for the engineers.
Good. Oh yeah, ladies, gents and teddy bears, absolutely apologies and so sorry for inconvenience today for not being able to stream. I was promised Wi-Fi here. I had the password, I had everything. There wasn't any Wi-Fi here to reach us, sadly. No worries, technical issue. I'm going to do my best to stream this feed a couple of hours after the show. So, oh yeah, Ted, we did our best, mate, didn't we? Yeah. Oh, God, that just about sums out the day. Okay. All right. See you soon. Wish you well. Right, put it up.
Well, feedback here.
Ladies, gents, and teddy bears, I hope you all enjoyed that. We're about to end the show right now. And just want you to know that we have our voting for the TED CONINGSBY Display Awards still open. So do make sure you vote right now. We'll close it off tomorrow. We'll do it 24 hours from now and we'll find out who the winner is. Do make sure you take part. It's free to vote. The link is there. So vote now for your favourite display at RAF Cosford. Do enjoy that. Take care. See you soon. Wish you well. Yeah.